Hey guys, Joe here, the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. Joined this afternoon by John Murray of the SuperBook. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joe.
I'm excited to have you here, John. I know you've had a fantastic career in this industry. Now with the SuperBook, how did you get started here?
Actually, I was a ticket writer in what was that then called the Las Vegas Hilton back in 2007, and I've just kind of worked my way up the ladder. They promoted me to director about 4 years ago, and obviously the last few years have been highlighted by the expansion stuff. That's become such a big part of our job now, working on expanding into all these other states. But running the day-to-day of the mothership here in Nevada is still our priority for sure.
I love everything you guys have going on at the SuperBook. How many locations do you have now?
We're in 5 states right now. So we've got the SuperBook at the Lodge Casino, that's in Black Hawk, Colorado. And then we've got mobile apps in Arizona, Tennessee, and New Jersey. And then, of course, we got the Westgate SuperBook here in Las Vegas. And we got some more states coming soon. We'll be open in a few more places by this football season. So there's a lot going on here at SuperBook. It's very exciting.
Absolutely. John, in the next 10 years, how many SuperBooks would you like to see?
50.
I would love that.
I definitely will. Oh, plus Canada. I don't mean to disrespect Canada. I apologize, Joe. So let's call it 51.
I cannot wait for you guys to come up to Canada. You are definitely needed in our market as we start to legalize in all different areas here, Ontario only right now, but I can see it coming. I would love to have you guys up here. Let's talk more about you. And I know you got started as a ticket writer, but how did you get that job, John?
I just applied for it online. You know, when I heard that the Hilton was the SuperBook, and I applied for a teller position, and I came in, and Jake Cornegay, who I know you know, he interviewed me. I'm sure he was on the fence about it, but he decided to offer me the position. And from there, I got promoted up the ladder. I worked as an admin operator for about 1.5 years. Those are like the unsung heroes of the sports book. Those are the guys that post all the scores and set up all the events. That's a pretty tough job. And then I was a supervisor for several years after that. Working the line late night, the night manager for about 1.5 years, and like I said, eventually did the risk room for a long time.
Yeah.
Working with Jeff Sturman, working with Ed Salmons every day back there. That's its own set of adventures. Working with those two guys, and eventually was promoted to the director position.
Yeah, congratulations on your promotion. You are doing an absolutely fantastic job there at SuperBook. I cannot believe you and Jay go back that many years.
Yeah, he hired me as a teller. It's been over 15 years now, if you can. And a lot's changed. You know, we thought we were a big operation back then, and the Hilton SuperBook was a big operation, but it's just nothing compared to how different the business is when every day you're talking about bets in all these different states. It's very different now. This used to be our slow time. July, we really didn't do much back then. I mean, don't tell our bosses. We're kind of on cruise control in the summer months back in those days, but not anymore. Not anymore. We're busy every single day now.
Oh, you guys have so many things going on at the SuperBook. What do you think is the biggest positive change in the industry over the last 15 years, John?
Well, I think it's good to see that people are admitting now finally what I knew the whole time, which is everybody bets on sports. You know, we always had to pretend like it was the shady thing that nobody participated in, and the leagues hid from it. Now, like every league is either in Las Vegas or trying to get to Las Vegas, or for sure every league is partnering with sportsbook operaters. Sports franchises are partnering with operators, I should say. So it's very good to see everybody admit what we all knew the whole time.
And there's no more sideways looks, right, John? No one's looking at you sideways when you tell them what you do anymore. It's a huge positive.
It's definitely positive. And I always knew that nobody was watching games like the Guardians and the Tigers game, which I have on now, unless they had money on it. I knew that the whole time. But it's good to see people finally admit that.
Absolutely. Now, John, how competitive are you in your everyday life?
With work stuff, very competitive.
With everything, yeah.
I guess pretty competitive. I was very salty about my recent golf performance a couple weeks ago, where I don't know why I was surprised I played so bad. There was nothing unusual about it, but I was pretty upset when I got off the course. So I guess competitive. Although, why would you expect to do well at something you're terrible at? I don't know, but that's what golf brings out of me, I guess.
Well, John, if you and I ever hit the course, you definitely beat me. The ball goes backwards when I play, so definitely not someone you want to partner with on the golf course, that's for sure.
I don't know. Jay's pretty good. He's definitely a lot better than I am.
I love it. Okay, so the SuperBook has so many things going on. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role and your everyday tasks that you do there?
Well, right now, a lot of what we're working on is expansion. I can't tell you what state we're going into. We are going into another state next month.
Awesome.
And capping everything we're doing in the 5 states we're currently in. Staffing is a big thing right now. We're trying to prepare our staff for the upcoming football season. And then we've also been working on the Super Contest and some other contests that we have going. We're getting our college football numbers together. Ed Salmons is leading that for us, but we'll have all of our college football future stuff up on, I want to say July 17. I think that's the Sunday. So every day is like this, just a lot of bosses to please and and then you're also right now you're trying to get some of your VIPs to come into town because it is a little slow. So we've been going back with a couple of our big players, trying to get them to come out here either in July or in August, and getting set up for the Super Contest weekend. Super Contest weekend is August 19th and 20th at the Westgate. We've got the Super Contest golf outing at the Las Vegas Country Club on the 20th. And I'm trying to talk my bosses here into purchasing UFC 278, which is that night in Salt Lake City. I want to show it in the book. So a lot of moving parts. Every day is like this for us.
Yeah, it sounds like an exciting place to be there at the SuperBook. What is your favorite part of this industry then, John?
My favorite part of the industry, I guess it would be not having a real job, I guess is the best thing, because you don't have to, although it's becoming more and more like a real job. But my favorite days are NFL Sundays.
Okay.
I like coming in around NFL Sundays, talking to some of the high rollers, doing a few radio interviews, and then I go into the back and I just watch the games. After I update our bosses on who we're rooting for, I get to just sit there and watch the games. And I love those days because none of the real bosses are here. It's just not, so there's none of these painful meetings. There's nothing like that because all those people are at home. I can just come in, watch football, do a few interviews, shake a few hands, and leave.
Absolutely. Sounds like a great way to spend your Sunday. Sundays are supposed to be fun days. We do have NFL right around the corner. I saw that it was only 10 weekends away. Is that correct, John? Off the top of your
Sounds
head?
about right. I know the guys were telling me, I guess 4 weeks from tomorrow is the Hall of Fame, I believe is what I was told.
Wow.
So sounds right. 9 or 10 more Sundays before that first NFL Sunday. And that's always a monster. Probably our third busiest week behind March Madness and Super Bowl would be the first week of the NFL.
Absolutely. It's going to be crazy in the SuperBook. What is the atmosphere like in there on those opening weekends?
Well, we're getting back to normal. The last 2 years we didn't really have a normal NFL weekend. We had occupancy restrictions. We had mask requirements. We haven't had a real normal NFL Sunday since 2019. It's a lot of fun though. Everyone's full of optimism that first week because they haven't been beaten down by the NFL yet. Everyone's excited about the contest. I'm including myself in this, by the way. We're still excited about the contest we entered into. It's great. It's great. The first week's great. You have football back. You got tons of business. The weather here is great in the middle of September. Right now it's not so great in Las Vegas. It's kind of sucks out there. But I love that weekend. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Hopefully I can make it down for some of those events. Vegas is just calling my name right now. But John, can you watch a game without having a bet on it?
Me personally, of course I can because I always have something on it. I could have a house rooting interest.
That's true.
I don't really bet that many games myself, I should say.
Yeah.
I've always got something to root for with rooting along with the house. And now that we're in 5 states, soon to be in a 6th state, we've always got some kind of position that we're rooting for.
Absolutely. So you always have something in the game no matter what's happening. Now we got to talk about Baker Mayfield. We hear that he has been traded to the Carolina Panthers. What are your thoughts on this? And have you had any movement on the lines?
No, we didn't move the future books. We kind of expected the whole time that that's where Baker Mayfield was going to go. That was kind of like the worst kept secret in football. That Carolina was going to trade for Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's a player that moves the needle in terms of the betting markets. Okay quarterback, but not somebody that's going to carry a team very far. I mean, he actually had a very good team in Cleveland. Couldn't make the playoffs last year. Did have a good performance the year before, getting them to the second round, but I don't see how he'll be able to do much in Carolina. Tampa Bay is the class of that division. New Orleans should be very good, better than Carolina. So it's tough to expect anything out of Matt Rule and Baker Mayfield and that team this season.
Yeah, that was my thoughts exactly. I thought if anything, I think it hurts Carolina. I'm actually shocked that they took him. But I have my own personal thoughts on Baker Mayfield. He's definitely not one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Well, obviously not. If it hurts them they traded a 5th round pick, and you think it hurts them?
I do. I really do. I do not.
Tell me how you really feel.
I really don't like Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's going to stay healthy. And I think Carolina definitely could have gone a better way with that decision in their quarterback. So I don't know, John. I'm really not a Baker Mayfield fan.
They need to be honest with themselves, and they need to draft a quarterback. They've got to stop. I actually thought that the Darnold move was going to work out better for them last year. I was wrong about that. I don't like this Mayfield move. They need to be honest, and they need to go get a quarterback through the draft because this isn't going to work.
Sorry, I agree with you there. I don't think it's going to work either. I think it's just kind of a Band-Aid right now and not a good situation. So I feel for Carolina. It's going to be another hard season for them. Who are you rooting for? Do you have a team, John? I know lots of people in this industry don't have teams, but was there a team from growing up as a child?
Well, yeah. When I was a kid, my family had season tickets to the Redskins. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, McLean, Virginia. They were called the Redskins at the time, Joe, so don't make a face. But now they're the
not making a face
team or
the
or something. I really stopped supporting them over the last few years, not because of the name change. That really doesn't have much to do with it. It's hard to support Dan Snyder. I just can't bring myself to support Dan Snyder, honestly. So I don't really anymore. I'll just root for the book every week. If I do make a futures bet in the NFL, I'll certainly follow that for myself, but not really, not in the NFL. No.
Anyone that you're leaning on at this point for future, John?
I bet Green Bay. I made some Green Bay bets because I never believed that Aaron Rodgers was actually going to retire. I never believed that they would trade him. I got that right in a sense, but I had all these Green Bay futures last year as well, and I had to sit there while they had a punt blocked and were knocked out of the playoffs by the San Francisco 49ers. So Green Bay has disappointed me in the past, but that is the team I've backed this year.
Yeah, that was a bad way for Green Bay to go out for sure. That would have really hurt in that game.
Yes.
I'm sorry, John. Okay, John, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Can you let everyone know where to follow you on socials, where to find everything that's going on at SuperBook as well?
You should definitely follow at SuperBook Sports for sure. Get all the latest on SuperBook. If you want to follow me, I'm at Vegas Murray, but it's mostly just sarcastic comments like the ones I posted this morning about Skip Bayless. So I don't know if you want to follow that, but definitely follow at SuperBook Sports for sure.
Absolutely. And John, that reminds me, when I first wrote you, I said, I am such a fan. And you wrote back saying, don't be a fan of me. Everyone should be a fan of you guys.
No, I don't understand that, but I do appreciate it.
I appreciate everything you're doing in the industry, John. Thank you so much for joining me here. Have a killer week and have a killer week at SuperBook. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.